Good afternoon, people. Kirk, how are you? I spent the afternoon rehearsing with Lorna Kohlmeyer. We're doing a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young sing-along on Saturday evening at the Monkey House on University Avenue in Berkeley. Showtime is 7:30. Doors open at 7. And it's me and Lorna are doing it for nothing to raise money, help the Monkey House continue to thrive and present wonderful music. I get to play there several times a year in different configurations. The lovely space. Ira is a fantastic songwriter in his own right and a great teacher, and he's got a studio there and everything else. So his community support him, and that's why we're going to do a CSNY sing-along. We worked up 20 songs today. If you're within a day's drive of Berkeley, come see us on Saturday evening at the Monkey House. And for everybody else who isn't within driving distance, Quarren Palooza is also on Saturday. That's an online music festival that goes like 11, 12 hours every month. And this one starts this coming Saturday. I think it might be starting at 10:30 or 11, I forget which. But you can go to the Quarren Palooza page on Facebook or to Eventbrite and search for Quarren Palooza. And buy a ticket and hang out in the Zoom room with all of us musicians. I'll be playing in the earlier part of the day because, as I mentioned, I'm going to be over at the Monkey House later. But you can drop in, hang out, drop out, come back. It's a long afternoon and evening of music, and it's really fun. We've been doing it for years, several years now. Quarren Palooza also this coming Saturday. I'm going to be starting late on Friday, as long as I'm giving bulletins here. Tomorrow's a regular day, 4 o'clock, but Friday I've got one of my producing clients, Christian Crumlish. We're having a listening session. We finished tracking the songs for his record, and we're going to get together and listen to everything and start making notes and figure out what we're going to do next. So that's an afternoon thing. I'm just going to give myself an extra hour to wrap that up and start at 5 on Friday instead of my regular time. But here we are today. And I have several requests. Positive friction under the upper crust. What does all this Hollywood really have to do with us? True grit, timeless love, there's no reason to pretend. Let's get together and become natural once again. Yes, there's a certain vibe that's circulating in the air, comes from all the energy that emanates from everywhere. Oh, such a lovely truth beginning to unfold. It's our brothers and sisters all coming in from the cold. There's a family growing, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. There's something that we're all knowing. I hope it's spreading like a wildfire back to a place one might call home. Positive friction under the upper crust. What does all this Hollywood really have to do with us? True grit, timeless love, there's no reason to pretend. Let's get together and become natural once again. have our own heroes. They're dancing in the living room. Busy, busy counting up from zero. Not 1 minute too soon. Back to a place one might call home. Positive friction under the upper crust. What does all this Hollywood really have to do with us? True grit, timeless love, there's no reason to pretend. Let's get together and become natural once again.
Bungalow Bill.
So, rehearsing up these CSNY songs for Saturday. Almost cut my hair. Happened just the other day. It's getting kinda long. Could have said it wasn't my way, but I didn't, and I wonder why. I feel like letting my freak flag fly. I feel like I will. Because I had the flu for Christmas, and I'm not feeling up to par. Increases my paranoia. Like looking in my mirror and seeing a police car. But I'm giving it an inch to fear, 'cause I promised myself this year I feel like I owe it. finally get myself together. I'm gonna get down in that sunny southern weather, and I'll find a place inside a land, separate the wheat from the chaff. I feel like I'm away. There's a teenage wedding and the old folks wished them well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. They furnished up the apartment with a two-room Roebuck sale. The coolerator was crammed with TV dinners and ginger ale. And when Pierre found work, the little money coming worked out well. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. Furnished up the pump fire, boy did they let it blast. 700 little records, all rock, rhythm, and jazz. And when the sun went down, the rapid tempo of the music fell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. They had a sipped up jitney, was a Chevrolet 53. Drove it down New Orleans to celebrate the anniversary. It was there that Pierre was wedded to the lovely mademoiselle. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. It was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished them well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. C'est la 'cause I sure you never can tell. Say la vie, say the old folks, because I sure you never can tell. Borrowed my Jack Kerouac and took off in my Cadillac. I don't care if she don't come back, but I sure do miss that car. The railroad tracks run down my arm. I sold my soul, nearly bought the farm. Trade a bag of beans for a good luck charm. I sure do miss that car. I sure do miss that car. I sure do miss that car. I don't care who's the president. The money's spilled and the blood is spent. I still ain't got enough to pay my rent. I sure do miss that car. I fold my hands and I make a wish. I clean my plate and I wash my dish. I may be a no good son of a bitch, but I sure do miss that car. I sure do miss that car. I sure do miss that car. Don't get up till after dark. I've gone too far, maybe jumped the shark. The story's the same at the old ballpark. I sure do miss that car. Well, she took off in my Cadillac after borrowing my Kerouac. I don't care if she don't come back, but I sure do miss that car. 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 This is by request. This appears on our, oh, it's not up there right now. It's on this record, Home by Morning. Available from perfectible.net. Please be easy with me. It's been a long time, you see, since I been taken down with a smile. I've been rambling around and I'm just back in town, but I'll only be here for a while. So welcome home, your traveling man. Oh, he's got more in his heart than in his hands. Once again, welcome home, your traveling man. He's got more in his heart than in his hands, and you know he loves you. Well, I've had cold-hearted women when my head was spinning, and I have not once been satisfied. Now I'll stay on the road with my unsteady load till I paid what I owe and claim my pride. So welcome home, your traveling man. He's got more in his heart than in his hands. Once again, welcome home, your traveling man. He's got more in his heart than in his hand, and you know he loves you. Rain on my windshield, the sun in your hair. I can't help wondering if you still live there. Now I've got to believe you'll be waiting for me. And welcome home, your traveling man. He's got more in his heart than in his hands. Once again, welcome home, your traveling man. He's got more in his heart than in his hands. And you know he loves you, your traveling man. He's got more in his heart than in his hands. Once again, welcome home, your traveling man. He's got more in his heart than in his hands, and you know he loves you. Come on, you pretty women, with your hair hanging down. Open up your windows, 'cause the Candyman's in town. Come on, boys, and gamble. Roll those laughing bones. 7 come 11 boys, I'll take your money home. Look out, the Candyman. Here he comes and he's gone again. Pretty lady ain't got no friend till the Candyman comes around again. Well, I come in from Memphis, where I learned to talk the jive. When I get back to Memphis, be one less man alive. Good morning, Mr. Benson. I see you're doing well. If I had me a shotgun, well, I'd blow you straight to hell. Look out, the Candyman. Here he comes and he's gone again. Pretty lady ain't got no friend till the Candyman comes around again. Come on, boys, and wager if you have half a mind. If you've got $1, boys, lay it on the line. Hand me my old guitar, pass the whiskey round. Won't you tell everybody you meet that the Candyman's in town? Look out, have a great fear that this song is always going to be necessary. Just look and see what the Supreme Court of Alabama did this week. Such a lovely planet. Wonder how it came to be. Was it chaos or creation? Was it God or entropy? Now the spirit may be sleeping, but it dwells in every heart. I put my faith in nature, of which we are a part. There are many here among us who believe this world is theirs, and when it's beaten and depleted, they will rise into the air, and the ones who don't believe them face a dark, eternal grave. No one knows, but they are certain. Save us from the same. I put my faith in nature, what I hear and smell and see, until I meet that higher power. I'll do what makes sense to me. And if what I would call a good life is what you would call depraved, give me freedom from religion. Save us from the same. I honor your tradition. I insist you honor mine. In a world with any justice, blasphemy is not a crime. You believe what you believe in. I respect your wish to pray. But if you try to make me join you, I'll resist you all the way. I'm not saying I know better. I'm just saying we don't know. Till the day we get an answer, I go where my heart says go. It's a narrow-minded Jesus I see reflected in your eyes. He was all about compassion. If he knew you, he would cry. I put my faith in nature, what I hear and smell and see until I meet that higher power. I'll do what makes sense to me. And if what I would call a good life is what you must call depraved, give me freedom from religion. Save us from the saved. Save us from the saved. Save us from the saved. That song is on this record. The ones that look the weirdest taste the best. I mentioned the CDs again. All of us musicians will tell you that the best way to support the musicians that you like is to buy their music from them directly, because everything else takes a giant cut of the profits, especially the online streaming services, which essentially don't exist in terms of generating revenue for musicians at my level. You buy that record, I already paid the licensing on it, I already paid for the pressing on it, it's sitting in my basement waiting to be sold. So you buy a couple of my records, you are directly supporting my enterprise here. They're also damn good records, I don't mind telling you, and others will agree. My books are also pretty damn good too. And the tip jar is not unpleasant. Let me see here. I'll tell you a story about that piece. It was probably, oh God, might be more than 20 years ago. Rita went away for a while. I forget where she was traveling. But I took the opportunity to set up my looping rig in the living room so I could play whenever I wanted to for several days in a row. And I took a dose of acid one day and had a really, really fun time improvising. And I recorded huge amounts of music during that time. And that piece wound up arose from an improvised piece. I listened back to this. I cut out the cool parts of it and listened back to it and sort of found the interlocking compositional elements that defined it. And it got its name, Dawn's Early Light, because there are fragments of the melody of the Star-Spangled Banner in there that I seized upon and later elaborated upon. But the overarching theme of it is based on a spontaneous performance from that time. And it all happened in the key of C, and has been happening in the key of C for a couple of decades now. But a couple of weeks ago, let's see, it was just 5 days ago I played this. I believe this was the time that I was just in G, I was doing something else, and I wound up starting to play bits of this in the key of G, and it worked surprisingly well. And just now I kind of spontaneously launched into it also in the key of G. And it's very interesting to have had a piece that you played in one key for a really, really long time suddenly reveal itself to have, other areas of interest like this. It's fascinating, and I just had a really good time playing that. It's sort of a new way to look at that song. That's the improvisation. I'm just sharing my process with you, friends. That's how improvisation works. You do something by accident, and then you make it deliberate. Monet and Manet were trucking down the Elysee, picking out pastels and other kinds of paint. Eddie said to Claude, I got some rouge that is really odd and some indigo from Cairo that I'll bet, buddy, you ain't. Well, they continued this discussion over cafe latte and an English muffin when Andre Duran joined them in this talking beverage, you see. Well, he was on his way to London, so Monet winked and told him, hey, when you get to Charing Cross, pal, paint one of the bridge for me. Monet concerned himself with atmosphere and light. He worked on a lot of conferences at the same time, and as it got darker, he just painted on down the line. Manet did some stuff that's really out of sight. Some other guys in that league were Rodin, Cezanne, Lautrec, and don't forget Paul Gauguin. Vinnie Van Gogh was way ahead and far above. He had an eye for perspective and an ear for love. Camille Pizarro was older than the rest of the bunch. He was scoping out a brand new style, but he was missing the point. So after a while, he hiked up to Montmartre to talk it over with the others over lunch. Monet concerned himself with atmosphere and light. He worked on a lot of canvases at the same time, and as it got darker, he just painted on down the line. Manet did some stuff that's really out of sight. Some other guys in that league were Rodin, Cezanne, Lautrec, and don't forget Paul Gauguin. I said, don't forget Paul Gauguin. I said, you can't forget Paul Gauguin. Oh, Jessie, don't you sing that song to me anymore. You know how it makes me feel inside. Come here when I'm all used up. Share with me my empty cup. And when I'm full again, you fly. Oh, Jessie, don't you sing that song to me anymore. You know how it makes me feel inside. She is a symphony, and she sings when I touch her. Must be an angel from on high. She is a symphony, and she sings when I touch her. Bringing me music from the sky. Oh, Jessie, don't you sing that song to me anymore. You know how it makes me feel inside. Come here when I'm all used up and share with me my empty cup. And when I'm full again, you fly. Is also on this record. Oh, well, the man who stole the future has an oil drum for a heart and a strange preoccupation with other people's private parts. They want us to do what they say, but I'd rather live my own damn way. We'll take our country back someday, but it's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, but I know it's gonna get better. Yes, I know it's gonna get better, 'cause it almost always does. I can't say much about the who and how, but I believe it just because. Day by day our bonds unweave, mammon gloats as nature grieves. Oh, save us from these pious thieves. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, but I know it's gonna get better. Well, I love the world we live in, 'cause I live in it with you. So proud to be defined by what they buy. These righteous despoilers, these blood broilers, taking orders from on high. And I don't know whose word I take about this God whose laws I break. I'll swan dive into that fiery lake. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, but I know it's gonna get better. Well, these Andarchian forces are clamping down on us unconforming souls, waving flags and bashing fags and burning truth like coal. Now I don't know, but I've been told the naming rights have all been sold. Hell is hot and heaven's cold, and it's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, but I know it's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, but I know it's gonna get better. Well, I love the world we live in, 'cause I live in it with you. Well, that went by pretty quick. I thought I might get tired a little bit because I've already spent 2 hours rehearsing with Lorna before this, but I'd made it through just fine. And once again, Quarren Palooza this coming Saturday, starting in the late morning. It's an online music thing that goes on for like 11 hours or so, and I'm going to be part of that in the early part of the day, but you should come early and stay late. Unless you live in Berkeley or nearby, because I want you to come to the Monkey House on Saturday evening at 7 and participate in a Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young sing-along. That's a benefit for the Monkey House to help keep it thriving so we can all perform there. Lorna Kohlmeyer and I are going to be singing all these CSNY tunes with your help. So join us there Saturday night. Otherwise, I will be back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock California time, and remind you that I'm going to start an hour late on Friday, 5 o'clock California time, at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you all so much for being part of it. Please visit perfectible.net and hit the tip jar if you can. And I'll be back tomorrow, and I appreciate your support in every form it takes.